Charlie.
Baby, I like your style. Whips in your waist, front way, back way. You know that I don't play. Streets not safe, but I never run away, even when I'm away. OT, OT, there's never much love when we go OT. I pray to make it back in one piece, and I pray. And that's why I need a one dance. Got an Hennessy in my hand. One more time before I go. Higher powers taking hold. Say I need a one dance. Got an Hennessy in my hand. One more time before I go. Higher powers taking hold. My girl, you be me and you. Cause my girl, against the world, nobody there. You be the only one making no fear. Anytime way I see when I'm holding her hand, and when we're doing something else. She dey feel, she dey feel, she dey feel, she dey feel, she dey feel low. She dey feel the anointing. Anytime.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to the couch with me, Ama Pratt. Today's a Tuesday, so we are on our usual social lifestyle, life transforming edition of the show. So if you've been following us, you know that for the past couple of weeks, we have been concentrated on philanthropic projects. Now, this is for a reason, and that reason is that we all have to be the change agents that we seek in the society if we intend, to make it better for ourselves and for posterity. So over the couple of weeks, we have tried to bring you people who are doing things outside of the box, people who are seeing spaces that need to be filled and are filling those spaces by themselves. Beautiful people with beautiful hearts, I call them. And this evening is no different. And so this evening, we are going to be concentrated on two philanthropic projects, and they are completely different. So let's just check out what the first project is about. To be right back. Stay with us.
Miss Cordie Aziz is a passionate whisperer who strongly believes in the assertion that children are our future. For the past 5 years, she has empowered over 65,000 children in 45 public schools to know more about the environment in which they live, climate change, proper waste management, and waste segregation. Education is a powerful tool which, when harnessed properly, can become a catalyst for the change we need in society. In the next 5 years, she sees the organization crossing boundaries and borders by spreading its wings throughout West Africa to impact more lives. She founded Environment 360 5 years ago when she had a spark in her heart due to the state of our beach. Her inner instincts were kicked at sight of children playing in a sea choked with plastic waste. Since then, she vowed to take it upon herself to educate children to become change agents in society.
Hi, welcome back. So yes, today I have the privilege of interviewing my first wastepreneur. I love it. Wastepreneur. Did you coin it yourself?
I did coin it myself.
Listen, where to go? If you can have bootylicious in the dictionary, we can have waste spinner in the dictionary.
Right? Sometimes when you find that there's not a word to describe you, you just have to create one.
You are a change agent, true and true. So she is the lovely Miss Cordie Aziz. Pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you. And what you are doing is awesome. Let's just start on that, on that note. And let's stay here for wastepreneur. Break it down for me.
So a wastepreneur, essentially, I believe that waste is actually Africa's next biggest opportunity for the next 50 years. Africa is the fastest urbanizing continent in the world. We have some of the fastest growing countries. In fact, Tamale is even one of the fastest growing cities in Africa. And inherently, we're going to have a waste issue. A large part of this is because we don't have an efficient waste collection service. However, waste is actually a resource. Even the government has coined it materials in transition, or MINT, in 2010. We think that we can actually harness this resource to be able to create jobs, develop economic opportunity, while also having an environmental impact at the same time. So we sort of see waste as our biggest opportunity. It should be the next biggest career that we get all of our children to look into.
Waste. Okay, so you know that this society is not there yet. I mean, you've been around for how long?
8 years now.
I mean, that's a really long time, so listen, we can talk. So you understand that here, waste, the attitude towards waste is just wasteful. Can I say that? The attitude towards waste is completely wasteful, because elsewhere, you are taught about recycling. You don't have a choice but to recycle. So there are specific boxes to put what? You can put the plastic, bottles in this one. You can put, the food and things that decay, and you can put those here. And so there's a clear-cut, framework that works with waste, and waste can become a resource. Here, we jumble everything together. Sometimes put in a polythene bag, tie it up. There are people who don't even have proper waste disposals, at home. So, I mean, great idea, but how are you going to actualize this? Or how are you actualizing this?
So what we've actually done is we have several different strategies. I do agree with you that waste is not properly dealt with. However, through our projects and our experiences, we found that most people are willing to participate in a program as long as it's efficient. I think oftentimes what happens is that we have the education without giving people an outlet. So I can tell you not to litter. I can tell you not to mix all of your waste. But if I can't provide an outlet for you to actually practice what I'm teaching, that sometimes can become an issue. So you'll find in our school program, not only do we educate children about climate change, climate mitigation, we also do some creative activities with them to better help reuse their waste, but we also help them set up sustainable recycling programs. The school's recycling programs are actually what funds their education about the environment. So we actually collect the materials from them. We sell it to a third party, and then we're actually able to support some of the educational activities that we do in the schools. Just this year, we actually introduced the Ghana Recycling Initiative for public schools, GRIPS. And essentially what GRIPS does is it actually rewards schools for doing recycling. So you'll find that they're able to actually earn rewards anywhere from 100 Ghana cedis to 750 Ghana cedis per semester. And this is money that schools can use to do other things. So we have this particular strategy, and another strategy we use is actually, as you saw, working with the informal sector. We really think that waste pickers can be a huge, a great solution to really close the gap in servicing urban and coastal areas that are below the economic line that typically don't pay for waste services. So we think that by deploying multiple strategies, you can actually address the issue. But I do also want to say, I think we need to look more at local solutions. I think a large part of the reasons why a lot of the things we don't do, that we are doing are not working, is simply because they aren't meant for this part of the world. Africa is very unique. Our culture is very unique. Even when you look at our housing situation, it's not the same as you would find in the Western world. So it doesn't really make sense to just pick up something and copy and paste it into our society. And I think this is something we really need to be cautious of. And I think we need to really create more home-driven solutions that really fit our lifestyle and fit our society.
Absolutely, I agree with you 100. So let's talk about your organization, Environment 360, which you founded 5 years ago. And I like the story around how you came to forming this. Tell it.
Yeah, so when I first moved to Ghana, one of the reasons why I knew this was it is because there was a beach here. So of course I move and I envision myself lounging on the beach regularly, hanging out. And then I get here and realize, no, I won't be hanging out on the beach regularly. Nope. And a large part of it was because of the plastic waste issue. Some friends and I had gone to a very popular beach here, and there were some children playing. And one of the little boys got out and pulled off a plastic bag. We all know that coastal communities also use the beach for other reasons. We also know that about 40% of Ghanaians have toilets. That mean about 60% don't. So we know that sometimes we also use black plastic bags for other things. So the boy gets out and he's pulling off this black plastic bag, and I can only imagine what was in the bag before it became empty and is now attached to his foot. So I called him over and I just asked, how does it make you feel to have to come and play on a dirty beach? And I realized he was completely clueless because he lived in the vicinity. So this was the only thing he had ever seen. He hadn't been anywhere to know that it's not normal for plastic to come in the waves or to have tires or flip-flops lying along the beach. He really was so clueless about this. And then just something inside of me said that no, like something has to be done because it's becoming normal. And I think the scary thing about something becoming normal is that once something is normalized, no one tries to change it. And I think this is sort of what we see as well sometimes with the waste epidemic. It's really sort of becoming a normal thing in Ghana. And this is something that we really have to stand against so that it doesn't become normal. And we know that filth is not the order of the day.
I mean, yeah, because filth, beaches, you're right. We've normalized it. It seems to be okay now.
Yeah. I mean, we're so comfortable throwing things down. We're just comfortable leaving our things. Even when you go to an event, everybody stands up and you look at the floor. And I mean, this is everybody from the very poor to, the very rich. So at what point do we start taking responsibility for our own behavior?
For our waste. Okay. So then you see this, you experience this, and then you decide to form Environment 360. What was the immediate plan?
I often tell people Environment 360 has really been such an organic experience. When we first started, we really were just solely dedicated to education of children. And at that point in time, we actually used to host tours at green places around the city, really teaching children that they could creatively reuse their waste in different ways. And then from there, a lot of the people that would come in were actually from private schools, which was great, but we also realized that they really have access, right? So what we decided is a lot of the parents would always ask for a recycling program. So I decided to take the time, sort of do a little bit of research, and I was able to sort of piece together this recycling program that now is known as Evolve. But yeah, Evolve. And Evolve really has taken us to another level because after I created Evolve and we were able to illustrate that residents were willing to recycle, then we moved to containers around the city. And then after we moved to containers around the city, then we were able to start working in more disadvantaged communities with waste pickers, really helping build their capacity to have better businesses so that they can then also support us in the collection. And now you even see organizations copying the model of Evolve. So it's really great to see that other organizations have really started to replicate something that we were able to create 4 years ago.
Okay, so now the organization has evolved, to borrow to borrow the word for your project. So now you're no longer just doing the public outreach education. Do you still do that?
Yeah, we still do
Okay,
this.
so what else have you added on?
So our next work is mainly working with the waste pickers. So we actually have a project in Timon Newtown called Picket, where we actually are working with waste pickers in Timon Newtown to pilot a residential collection program.
I'm sorry to cut in again, but then are you talking about people who have been employed formally?
No, they are not employed formally. So the World Bank, waste pickers are typically people that are really overlooked. We probably see them, but we don't acknowledge them. So it's the old woman that comes around at the funeral and picks up the water sachet, or the individual that you see in your neighborhood early morning picking the sachet out of the gutter, or the man that you see digging in the garbage can picking out his water bottles. So these are essentially waste pickers, but the World Bank has noted that they're actually responsible for 50% of waste segregation, particularly in developing countries. And the issue is that a lot of times they're already business people, but they're really disenfranchised. You'll find that because they're not organized, they aren't able to have access to good buyers. They also don't have the best working conditions because they don't have personal protective gear, and they need help planning for their businesses as well. So we actually come in and help support them with a variety of capacity building to help them build better businesses. We also have worked in Kumasi. We actually have a program in Accra that we've just started where we're working with 100 women waste pickers as well. So we really try to mobilize them into cooperatives that can essentially benefit their well-being. Our idea is not to employ them, but to really help them build better businesses so that they can become employers in their communities, and they can see the economic benefit for themselves. And what Environment 360 does is we more so act as an aggregator. So we actually sort of add up all of the collection across all of our products or projects, and then we're actually able to find a final buyer. So instead of somebody buying 1 ton or 2 tons, we can say, hey, we know we have 50 tons of PET across these 3 projects. What's the best price that you will give us? Then we're able to give them a better price than what they would get if they sold on the streets. We take a small percentage of that value and reinvest it into the business so that we can keep organizing these groups of informal cooperatives of waste pickers.
Wow, so essentially that's what you do now. Is that the main?
It is, and our school
business
program is really still thriving as well. I'm still very proud of our school program. We've been working in some schools for 5 years. You hear such amazing stories from children that talk about how they actually work with their family to teach them how to segregate. You find some schools actually are even doing some collection from some neighboring businesses because they're getting them on board. So it's really an exciting thing to see how the children are also really taking to this. Even you just showed some pictures in the preview of Float Your Boat, which is an annual fundraiser that we do. It's coming up in just a few weeks.
On the
Yes, it is. So it's coming up in just a few weeks, the 27th at University of Legon. But this is an annual fundraiser where we actually invite children to build boats from plastic bottles and then they race them. So this year we've been able to get sponsorship for about 10 schools. So we're actually expecting in total about 20 schools to participate. So it'll be a great day at University of Legon at their pool on the 27th. And we're really looking forward to the children showcasing their creative talent and really showing what they came up with. And this activity actually directly ties into science and math as well, because it's something that really needs physics. So building your boat is actually it's not only a fun activity, but it's actually an educational one as well.
Great stuff. Great stuff. How many of you are in this organization?
So I actually employ 12 people full-time and 3 people part-time.
You employ 12 people
Yes.
full-time?
Yes.
And
3 people part-time.
part-time? Wow. So you intend to do this? This is you?
This is it.
This is you now?
This is it.
So waste now is being very resourceful.
Exactly. Absolutely. I love it. I tell people if I'd have known this was my path years ago, I probably would have said no. But I do think that there's something very rewarding about it. I think really life is measured by the amount of lives that you touch. And I think that God has given us all talents that we really have to contribute to society and help grow. and being able to see the changes in the children, the impact that they have in their communities, and also being able to impact the waste pickers' lives and be able to give them access to money, access to social benefits, access to better working conditions. These are things that I think make anyone feel really good inside.
Absolutely, I agree. What's the future? Because you evolve, you keep evolving. So where is this leading in the next 2 years?
Yeah.
What's the plan for Environment 360?
So we actually just opened an office in Kumasi. We'll be working on opening up another office in Ghana here within the next year as well.
But your main office is in Accra.
Our main office
Obviously.
is in Accra.
You've opened another one in Kumasi.
We've opened in Kumasi now.
Okay.
We'll also be opening up in one additional city this year as well here in Ghana. And then from there, we'd actually like to scale and do more of a West Africa. So we'd like to look at replicating the project in a neighboring African country as well, and being able to have that knowledge share with individuals and really showing how they can create economic impact and environmental impact through empowering others.
From waste.
Yeah.
Wastepreneur. Wastepreneur. Are you working in collaboration with other organizations, or is this just Environment 360?
So we work in collaboration with so many organizations. One of our main pillars is actually cooperation. When you look at the plastic waste issue, it's so large that you really just can't work in an isolated way. So we have a variety of partners, which are donor agencies. We actually have memberships that we offer to private companies as well. So you'll find companies like PwC, Norwegian Embassy, Swissport, Bro Ghana just signed on. So you'll find that we work with them to actually help raise funds for ourselves. Dow Chemicals has been fabulous. We also do some work with GRIPE, the Ghana Recycling Initiative by Private Enterprise. So we work very closely with MESTI, Ministry of Environment, Science, Technology, and Innovation.
The local ministry.
Yeah, ministry.
Okay.
We work very closely with the local municipalities. So AMA, TMA, KMA. So you'll find that what we do, we can't work in isolation. It definitely takes partners.
Yes.
It definitely takes a coordinated reach. So for us, we're really about coordinating with anybody that's passionate about the same things that we're passionate about, and also really wants to impact lives and really change Ghana for better.
For better.
Yeah, that's sort of the criteria for collaboration.
Absolutely. I'll take a quick break. But before that, I would like to announce the WhatsApp line. It's 026 181 1280. I'll announce that again. It's 026 181 1280. Stay with us. Stay with us.
Honey, I'm home. I have a surprise.
You know money. Yeah, check that. Mami, some feel some no.
Hey, I'm saying, maybe I'll tell you. Minipia, obey my way to a trap. When I'm a did my wedding, Mr. Q.
She say me a beman kasankasa.
Nichina me now swag kasa. Ankasa.
Hey, what you saying that?
Aye, we back and then it's strong now.
Back up and say,
or back and one which name.
Mr. Wasimini, I already walk one man.
Hey, I can't yadi near more.
At Fonko Kulun Ghana Limited, our East Legon, a Champion Junction, for 0244 139 176.
Mr. Q, we are Q back.
Today, we can trust sources of water anymore. Confidence is gone due to human activities. Same human activities introduces well-mechanized machines which purifies water. I bring to you ultimate natural mineral water. Deep from underground, tasty, well-purified and corporately packaged. Ultimate natural mineral water. Let's drink the new. For bulk, call 020-379-1888 or 0244-515-801. Ultimate natural mineral water. My water, your water, our water.
Welcome back from the break, viewers. Well, this question came in for you. Let me just read it out, for you, and then we'll come back and talk about the project. This one says, good evening. Will she please explain further the vision of Environment 360 in the next developed Ghana?
Yeah, so really Environment 360, what we support to do is create a circular economy. And we think that in order to create a circular economy, it has to be inclusive, meaning that we really look at incorporating people from the lower level of the economic ladder, such as waste pickers. So we actually seek to work with stakeholders along the value chain of waste management to create that collaboration to provide more efficient waste management services, particularly in coastal and urban areas where often these populations can't afford waste management.
Okay, great stuff. Now, I want us to talk about, the events that's coming up. That's the Float Your Boat. You want to talk us through that? And then just before we end, think on it. I'm going to be very specific. Do you see Environment 360 ever becoming perhaps like a Zoom Lion kind of organization, like actually getting in there and getting your hands dirty? So let's start with Float Your Boat.
Okay.
And then we'll come back to that in a minute.
Okay.
So talk us through Float Your Boat.
So Float Your Boat is our annual fundraiser. It's so amazing to see Float Your Boat. It's been sort of a staple of Environment 360 since our very beginning. I think the thing that's really unique about Float Your Boat is that there's really nothing like this in Ghana. It's very interesting because I just saw an article, I think somewhere in Cameroon or something, someone is building plastic bottle boats and actually using them for fishing commerce. But as mentioned, Float Your Boat is really a unique opportunity for children to better understand how they can apply math and science lessons to really actually build something and come to life. It also shows them how they can creatively reuse recyclables. I think as much as we look at recycling and reducing, it's also important to let people know that certain things can be reused in very ingenious ways. It's not everything just because it's waste to someone else doesn't mean that it has to be waste to you. So we give children an opportunity each year to come out and actually build different boats. It's always amazing because you'll be so surprised of the designs that they come up with. So we've had designs that had bicycle frames incorporated into them. We've had boats that were literally made out of just large water dispensers. We've had someone go as far to make an actual rowboat with their own paddles. So it's really interesting to actually see.
Are they working in groups or are they working as individuals?
So they work in groups. So each school registers. Registration fee is 500 Ghana cedis, which acts as a fundraiser for E360. And then they essentially build their boats in groups of 5. So they typically work with a teacher, somebody to help oversee. And then the teacher sort of helps them build their boats. They use a variety of materials. The only rule is that it has to be made from 80% of plastic bottles. Other than that, the materials that you use are up to you.
Okay, so let me understand this. The school will register with E360, the Environment 360, and pay 500 cedis.
Yes.
So obviously we are looking at the kind of schools, right? The private schools.
It is, but we get sponsors for our public schools. So this year we had some amazing companies come through and sponsor. So, I mean, we had Repattern, we had Footprint, we had CH Consulting, we had Dow, we had personal sponsors, we had InvestCorp. So you'll find that we actually probably had about 10 different individuals that actually came in to sponsor public schools to ensure that they could actually be able to participate as well.
Okay, so these companies are we perhaps going a company for a school, or can one company sponsor, say, 3, 4, 5 schools?
Yeah, a company can sponsor 3 or 4 schools. So you'll notice Dow actually took up 4 schools, right? So it's sort of up to an individual, sort of what they want. Some people sponsor schools in their area. Some people sponsor schools that maybe they have a connection to. Maybe they grew up in that area and it's sort of special to them. So it's up to you, but we essentially match the school with that particular supporter, and then that supporter actually gets to brand the school as well. So you'll find that they'll be in their Float Your Boat t-shirts, and it'll have supported by the name of your organization on the back. So this is actually what we do to ensure that public schools can participate. And then what happens is that part of their donation, it goes to purchase the materials they'll need to buy to build their boat. It goes for transportation, making sure, the t-shirts, transportation, making sure that the students get there, that they have a snack, this type of thing. So we've actually made provisions for both private schools and public schools. And we think that's the really unique thing about this as well, because you don't see public schools and private schools sort of intermingling and having these types of competitions. So we think that it really sort of shows that you can actually do things that expose children on both sides of the coin to the other. And I think that these are really valuable growing lessons that really help nurture an individual as an individual. And I think even further than that, we all like to see something in our head come to light. So I think that Float Your Boat is a unique opportunity to sort of do all of these things for children.
Okay, so two double-edged question. First of all, how are you getting the schools, and also how are you getting the companies? I'm interested.
So it's interesting. A lot of it is phone calls.
What? Phone calls?
Phone calls and favors.
Well, you need to teach me.
Phone calls and favors.
Okay.
And I think that once again, we do have a very strong following of people that really support Environment 360's work. Of course, we're always looking for more, but I think that people generally like to get behind something that really supports school-age children. And they know that when they're supporting Float Your Boat, it really is about supporting a child that wouldn't necessarily have this particular opportunity. And then I think how we find the schools is that, once again, we work with 45 different public schools. So we just allow them to register, and then we match them with sponsors as they need it. So not every school wants to participate, but those that want to participate, we go out of our way to make sure that we find sponsors for them.
I'm staying here. I'm staying right here at sponsorship because it's the biggest thing, and especially for something that is so novel, waste. And who would put waste and school competition in one sentence? It doesn't happen. So when you are talking to these sponsors, I know you're saying that it's a lot of phone calls, you're saying that it's a lot of, right? But what do you still say to these companies to get them to actually dig into their because one thing I've realized, correct me if I'm wrong, is that presently companies like to do this barter trade thing, so for a project like that, we can give you 30 bottles of water. It's more likely to sell than actually dig in your pocket and give us money. So exactly what are you telling them that other people who have projects too can learn from to get things done?
So first I'm going to talk, I just think God's favor is always active. I'm not going to lie. I think, God's favor is always active. Seek God first, and everything else will be appointed onto you. So pray before you make the phone calls. After you pray, I think there's two strategies that people need to use. I think you need to be conscious of your fundraising goals, but I think you also need to be realistic. The reason we actually have it set at 500 Ghana cedis because it's something where people don't think twice about giving. I'm sure if we were calling you and asking you for 10,000 or 20,000 or 30,000, it has to go through a different process. But 500 Ghana cedis is something quite minimal that you can actually really take from your budget really quick. I think also being able to brand, I think this is probably the cheapest CSR activity that you might actually find.
Just so our viewers with us, CSR is corporate
social responsibility. Considering that it's 500 Ghana cedis, the children are branded in your company's name. There's opportunity for you to come. I think that you do have to have a value proposition. And I think a lot of NGOs miss the value proposition. One thing about Environment 360, we are a Ghana-based NGO. All of our money has always been raised within Ghana. We don't have core funding, so it's not as if we have some large grant from UN or World Bank or something. Like, we literally raise all of our money locally, and I think it can be done. I think people need to offer the organization something in exchange for what they're giving. I think you need to be realistic with your goals. You need to understand, is the service or a product or what you're pushing actually in line with the organization's goals and what they want to actually stand for. And then I think you really have to spend time cultivating relationships. Some of our biggest supporters did not come on and support Environment 360 until year 3 or year 4. These are people that I met them, I asked them to come and support.
Cultivating for 4 years.
Yeah, like these are people where I asked them to come, you know, give some support, sent proposals, never heard anything back, added them to our email list. We do a newsletter every month, added them to our email list. Before I realized it, they started reaching out to us. Hey, we want to be involved with this. How can we support you? Hey, we've got some extra money in our budget. Do you think that we can work with you? So I think that it does take a while to build credibility as an NGO, particularly if you're a local NGO, because you really have to show people that you're sustainable and that you're going to be long running. And then I think you really have to be very focused in your fundraising strategy. And if you don't have experience managing 30 or 40,000 Ghana cedis and you can't directly tell exactly what's in your plan, I would suggest you stick to smaller donations.
And by smaller donations, you mean the
500 and below. Some people may even need 50. Because it's the same. It's like you know, I tell people, don't focus on the money, focus on the numbers, right? So if you're only focused in on finding one person to give you 40,000, great. But if you can also find 400 people to give you 10, I mean, it's not that big of a deal.
Why not? Why not? Why not? You've given us some education this evening. Yeah, very, very, very valuable, you know, education. Now let's go to my question. When are we getting our hands dirty? I mean,
this is a loaded question.
You know, wastepreneur. When do we actually get into the waste?
Yeah, so I see environment. I really sort of see us as I don't really sort of see us as having competition or really wanting to enter into the waste market. Because I think what happens when you look at a Zoom Lion, I mean, he employs so many people.
Yes.
He has branches all over. We don't really want to employ people. We want to help people build better businesses. Yes, we want to act as an aggregator to ensure that you get fair trade prices, I guess, for your waste. But I don't have interest in employing 1,000 people. I don't have interest in employing 4,000 people. I'm sure Zoom Lion can tell you, you also come under a lot of scrutiny when you become that large. And it almost becomes where you can't really do anything right. And I think that with any model, there are inherent risks. And there are inherent advantages. And I think one of the inherent advantages at what we're looking at is that we're really impacting the lives of people. And for us, that's really the focus of what Environment 360 is. We're not interested in building a multi-million-dollar business that's centered on the wealth of a few people. I'm more interested in building the wealth of 10,000 or 20,000 people so that it can have a ripple effect. And then there's millions of people that have been impacted because your grandmother was able to join a cooperative, and then this was able to send your mother to school. And when she went to school, now she was able to send you to university. Like, this is sort of more of the impact that I'm looking.
Touch.
Yeah, so I don't really sort of see us as really ever wanting to be sort of a Zoom Lion or a large waste management company, because that's just not our focus. I don't think that that's our strength. I think we're really good at supporting other people, building businesses, and we're really good at connecting partners, and we're really good at connecting stakeholders. And I think that that's what we'll continue to focus on over the years.
Great. I like your answer. I like your answer. You know. Okay. So this question says, okay, Ama Pratt, please ask her plastic boat, how suitable can one use it to swim in the sea?
Now, this is a really good question.
And then he says, any advice? You don't add your name. Just add your name. Okay. So, yeah, let's find out how water friendly, I think that's the question.
Yes.
The boat is.
So I can say this. They definitely float in pools back and forth. Mind you, they even go through several heats. So because mind you, it's sort of like a competition. So if you have 20 schools, your boat might actually have to go through 4 or 5 races. I'm not sure the children have advanced enough to be building bottles that are in seas. But however, if you look, there are some African countries where you actually see fishermen starting to build boats from plastic bottles. They're naturally buoyant. So I think you can see this even when you go to our coastline, you'll see plastic bottles is mainly what you see floating. So I do think that, I mean, if you're creative, if you're capable, you might actually, I mean, before you realize it, build a whole fleet that can be floating on a Don or the Volta River. As a tourist attraction. So we do these things to really not only inspire the children, but inspire society. So if you build the boat, if it's in the sea, give me a call. I will definitely come and check it out. Maybe we'll make you like the official float your boat like referee for life. So, I mean, I would definitely be interested to see who would be willing to take it up. But I can say we did used to do this same race at Marina Park on a dam. We used to do it with adults, but we had such an issue with the adults actually completing their boats. But even when they were floated in dams, you would find that typically after every race, the victory boats, people end up doing laps in them time and time again. So you'll find that people that have come to watch the race actually get on people's plastic boats and actually take trips. So based on that, I think that they're fairly durable actually. But I think that the design to get one that's seaworthy is something that probably takes a little bit more dedication.
Yeah. So perhaps it'll be one of the criteria for who wins. Right?
This lit.
Perhaps.
I feel like
I'm adding on to your concept. We are evolving.
But I feel like if your boat can make it through 5 different races and is still intact, it by all means is safe enough to do, to take on some additional passengers. So once again, at the end of Float Your Boat, there's always people that are like, oh, I want to get on your boat. So it's been a legacy. There's like the victory lap, and then even afterwards, people are taking their own rides.
Okay. Let me read this one. This one says, good evening. I'm Evans from Adenta. God bless her for her good work she's doing for Mother Ghana. I'm also one of her workers since I joined the company. And the type of work we are doing is very good. And also helping to clean our environment and reducing choked gutters. So I think the government has to support her so that we can clean our cities. Thank you.
Yes, Evans. We have an awesome logistics team. So we have guys that actually go around and pick up the waste. When I tell you we have an amazing, amazing group. Thank you for watching, Evans.
And Evans is asking for governmental support for you.
I think he might be onto something. I think when you see a good thing, you should rally behind it.
Thank you so much, Ms. Cordie Aziz. It's been great talking to you. You have actually opened my mind to a whole new, because like I'm saying, who would think of waste in this context? In the context of, first of all, helping the pickers, right? What do you call them?
Waste pickers.
The waste pickers, these are people that we never think about. They're always on the blind side of society. We never really think about waste pickers, So on that level, great stuff. Also, this issue about sensitizing students about waste, that's brilliant, because that's when we form our habits, isn't it? So if we are catching them young and letting them know that, like you say, waste can be a resource, that is something that can be reused and recycled for positive, that's great, because then, again, we are making, literally making our kids change, and then, of course, there's this fundraiser, Float Your Boat, again, great stuff. Let's get on the
you can buy tickets as well. So
you didn't talk about that. Let's talk about that briefly.
Yes. So you can get tickets for Float Your Boat. You can call the office. I don't know if it's appropriate to give
Go ahead.
Yeah, you can call the office. Our number is 0244-669-851. You can also get on our Facebook page as well. Tickets are 20 Ghana cedis. It goes towards a great cause. It's going to go back into our school program. So we're actually adding an additional 25 schools in Kumasi as well this year. We're also expanding our reach. So we need all the support we can get. Come out, see the race, get on a plastic boat at the end, maybe build one that's seaworthy, do whatever floats your boat. But we hope to gain support, and we hope to see a lot of people there on Saturday the 27th at the Lagan Pool.
27th of April.
Yes, it's a Saturday. So from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m.
Great stuff. Great stuff. All the best.
Thank you so much.
All the best. And we are here anytime. We like initiatives. We like great projects. So, yeah. So, viewers, we will take a break now. When we come back, we are coming back with the next project. You don't want to miss that one too. Stay with us.
What's wrong?
They took all my precious stuff.
Did they harm you?
Just when they were about to, they hit the siren and bolted.
Scout the area. You don't have security cameras?
They stole everything.
I thought you used ghost cameras from security.
Security warehouse?
Yes, you should. They couldn't have gotten away the way they did without either being electrocuted or being caught on a CCTV camera.
Yes, Dad. Everything has been installed. Yes. Okay. I will be fine, Dad.
Yeah, for this debate tonight.
Tell you guys to keep long, go do the far job.
Charlie High Tech. She the lie bad go happen tonight. This are no fence.
They couldn't get in this time.
How come?
Security warehouse.
Smart choice.
I guess you have some footage for me there. Crystal clear picture. Pause. I think I know this man. He has a long history with robbery and rape. You are fortunate to have equipped your house with gadgets from security warehouse. Call it in. We'll begin the investigation from here.
Control, come over.
Hey, Bukuya. The thing you know the pressure to me sister. What song come from? Come you say the people na ya na sa o yare go. They say the when you Joe one. What to ha wo su ni.
Ma nya osanka betwe mi kaba.
Ma.
We yare na menya anu aduro. Nti na ma me to nkra fra o se bra no.
Eh na me bi se fen ya go. Say wa ma me ye ma hye me.
Ko fichira. Wa ya se na ya na ye o ya me. Ena se wukunu so ba wo na wo dwane dwane no. Ena makoti e probin kan ye fra no araba basin tablets. So wonim se me de renia banana. Enunti na nam so amakoto se edu edu abra o se je. Nanom
rubber basin bet my we nyina ma me. Ene me huri soft.
Wonyem, wo your bata ya wo ma wo ba nufuo. Ana akwada wo ni mfie dumienu a wo nka ho. Araba bazen.
And there I see
Endometriosis is a very painful menstrual disease. It comes with debilitating pain in the abdomen. An advanced laparoscopic surgeon, Dr. Francis Dixon, who made a presentation on the topic, said the disorder could be relieved with medication, but if it is not reported early, the victim will have to go through surgery.
Just before the menstrual cycle, during the menstrual cycle, or shortly after, they are in agonizing pain. Because the endometriosis, the tissue that is outside of the womb, is causing them pain before the bleeding even begins. If you know that, you'll be able to recognize that in your children, your family members, your wives, your aunties, and that is, they'll think you're a doctor.
Endometriosis is hereditary or may be in the family. Those at risk of the disease include a woman who has not had a child before, women who have prolonged menses or short menstrual cycle, or thin physique. Ms. Catherine Berkon of Endo Charity is a victim of endometriosis. After having had 7 surgeries as a result of the disorder, she decided to go to town about the disease.
Everything to do with endometriosis, menstrual pain, is said to be a taboo topic. So every woman is suffering silently, not wanting to talk about it. And one thing that I've realized is when you complain about abdominal pain and you go to the hospitals, they quickly brush it aside and say, oh, it's normal. When you give birth, it will be fine. But I'm urging the medical personnel to help us.
Hi, welcome back. Let me remind you quickly that the WhatsApp line is 026 181 1280. That's 026 181 1280. Do send us, all your comments, your questions, and everything else to that number. Add your name, perhaps your location as well. Now, this next topic really, really excites me, because I'm female. Yes, I own my femininity. I wear it with pride. But also because, there are things that we consider taboo, which really are not. Something like a woman's menstrual cycle. That's nature. That's life. So there's nothing taboo about it. So that's why this next topic is really important to me, because these are things that we do not talk about. We don't highlight them enough with our young ladies. There's a lot of misinformation. Sometimes I feel that even the medical practitioners themselves, go about it the wrong way. Let me not talk too much. My next guest is Catherine Berko. She happens to be the founder of Endometriosis. Hi, Catherine. I'm excited to meet you.
I'm excited to be
I
here.
love what you do.
Pleasure.
I love what you do.
Pleasure.
Let's take it from the top. Let's talk about your experience first, and then
Yes.
then we can understand the backstory of why you do what you do.
Okay, so I'll give a brief. Thank you for giving me the platform. What it is I am a 1 in 10 of women that suffer from this debilitating disease called endometriosis. Endometriosis actually is a menstrual disorder, and it occurs when the lining of the uterus is normally supposed to shed every month, and that's the menses. But with an endo patient, the tissues go back and they get trapped in the body. These tissues that are trapped in the body can affect different organs severely. But going back to the story how this came up, I was misdiagnosed 11 years because anytime I go to the hospital with the pain, I'm told I'm being a big baby. It's in my head, because I'm not. Most of the time they ask me your pain level 1 in 10, and I tell them 20, because that's how I feel. I feel like the pain is going to make me pass out. But they still would insult me. The nurses are like, oh, incomplete abortion, because I had these clots, I was bleeding heavily, and they came up with all sorts. Imagine you go to the person for help, and I didn't understand what was going on, and then you go there and you're treated horribly. This is like in '89. There was no social media that I can even find out that another person suffers it.
Wait,
so it was a dark place.
Said incomplete abortion.
Oh yes. When I get the result, they say, we're calling abortion, it's incomplete abortion, because they've seen that I'm bleeding excessively.
And of course, you're crying out of pain.
And I'm crying out, I can't walk. I'm being held. I can't walk. So how can this be normal? And I've realized that I didn't go to one place. Several places that I went to, they said the similar thing, that, oh, menstrual pain is normal. When you give birth, it will go away. We have to remember that this can cause infertility. So even if you're saying that, oh, eventually it will go away, if it's not treated, I can't have babies. So how is that going to... We quickly brush it off. And what I realized is anytime I go to the doctor and I say menstrual pain, I don't get eye contact, whether male or female. They start writing a prescription for painkiller.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Yeah. Oh, why are you here? Oh, my menses... Oh, no eye contact. Then they start writing. And I sit back and I think, okay, long story short, I was finally diagnosed when I went to visit my siblings in London. But even at the A&E in London, when I went, we got there, I was being held. I couldn't walk. And then I was given painkillers and I was put to sit there because level 1 is BBA emergency power. 6, that is where they put me because menstrual pain is not that serious. Imagine, I was moaning out of pain. Everybody was looking at me, but they still said it wasn't serious. Because it's menstrual pain. And this is London, no, this is not, we say Africa. It is everywhere. I've realized I'm on a lot of support groups across the world, and all of them say similar things. Things like it's in your head, oh, it's normal.
Because
you're
of
acting
this
up.
Perception that
you're lazy.
Everything that is natural should be bearable.
Yeah.
For instance, there's a notion that, but other women go through it.
Yes.
Why are you being?
But that's where I think it's so wrong. If
time out.
Yes, time out. That's why I need to. I'm talking. I need to be heard because, come on. If Ama can take pain, Equia cannot take pain. Equia is complaining of pain. That doesn't mean because Ama can take more pain, your pain threshold doesn't count.
What Ama might be feeling is completely
different. Yes, but that's what we categorize it because Ama was able to take that pain, and Equia is complaining. Why are you complaining? But that is where you need to investigate. We don't investigate. We just say, oh, normal. And then we keep giving painkillers. And that's what happened to me over the 11-year space. I was then given contraceptive pills and to stop the menses. And I was still in agony. Before, during, after, I was always in pain. So, okay, finally, they've diagnosed because my brother-in-law had to step in at the A&E and tell them to go and look for endometriosis because his ex-girlfriend had my symptoms.
Yeah, he had been exposed to
He's been exposed to it, yes. So he had to scream at them before they came to attend to me. They wheeled me in a wheelchair and then they went to do a laparoscopy. That's how you can find out for endometriosis. Laparoscopy. It's they put the camera. Yeah, this is laparoscopy. It's put through the belly button and that's how they do the investigation to find out the level of endo that you have. And when they came back, they said I have stage 4. And the funny thing is, when I started the research, I realized that they said black women don't have endo. Even the endo is for working class, rich women, white women. So for me, they asked if they could use my my biopsy for research because they hadn't seen any severe in a black woman. So yeah, I asked them, I mean, you're already opening me up, so why not? Long story short, stage 4 was diagnosed 19 years ago. After being misdiagnosed 11 years, I was diagnosed stage 4. So for me, when I came back, I was even still struggling. Knowing that I had endo, I was still struggling to find somebody to manage my condition. So that is when my cousin referred me to Dr. Hiaji of Leicester Hospital. Okay. And when I started speaking to Dr. Hiaji, the lights came on. It was like he understood, he listened. For once, he was giving me eye contact, he was listening, and I mean, it was magical. So he was my gynecologist until recently I met Dr. Dixon too of Nova. He has treated endo for 30 years in America. And he's opened a surgery.
He's also exposed to
He's exposed and I'm learning. I'm still learning a lot. He's helping me help other people, support other people. And it's been great. I think that sitting back over the years and anywhere I get and I talk about endo, everybody's like, what? What's that? So I felt like I need to do something. It wakes me up at night. It's like, Kate, you are not doing a lot. There are people out there that need to be reached. So I need to do more. It keeps me awake. I feel like I'm going on a slow pace. But we only started last year. I left my 9-to-5 job, Bayport. I worked with them for 9 years after I came back. And I left my job because I can't let what I want to do, the passion I have for doing this, I can't let the 9-to-5 hold me. No.
So what exactly do you do with Endo Charity? What
I'm doing at the moment is doing TV, radio, social media, education. And I get people contacting me and it overwhelms me sometimes after every program. Through that, I've been able to help 2 one 16-year-old and 17-year-old, and it's amazing.
Does the
change.
pain ever go away?
If it's caught early, yes. It doesn't go away completely, but it can be managed for you to live comfortably. But for me, mine is chronic, so I just cope with the pain, if you know what I mean, because it's become chronic. So this is what we're trying to avoid. Let's catch it early so that the treating it will be cheaper. If it gets to the chronic state, so it's expensive to treat. So all that is really necessary for us to do more education and then leave the stigma that menses is supposed to hurt, so it's normal. It's normal. Then they leave you and then give you painkillers. No. If somebody, I'm just begging the health personnel, the doctors, if somebody has come to you like 3-4 times with the same pain every month, they're out of school, they're out of work, please refer them to a gynecologist. Please, we are just pleading that we are not just acting up. It's not in our head, as they say. It is real. The pain is out of this world. It is real. So imagine years ago when there's no social media and you're going through this and your friends are telling you, oh, we all go through it. Yes, imagine all this. So I'm just hoping that we can reach out. My next project is the schools, so we're still working on. You hear a lot of this. We'll be going to JHS, SHS, tertiary. We're going out there. I mean, they need to hear. The teachers need to understand. The nurse at the school needs to understand. Yes, and they need to understand. Employers need to understand. Everywhere I've been.
Let's hold on. Employers will come. We will talk about employers, but let's talk about school.
They need
for
to
a minute.
understand. Yeah.
You're saying that personally for yourself, you could not go to secondary school boarding house.
Boarding, and this is what I was so looking forward to. And I choose my schools, and then lo and behold, this thing, Endo Monster, I call it, comes. And then my parents are like, no, we can't take it, because they didn't understand what was going on. I was in pain just before and then during, excruciating pain. They couldn't even imagine me.
So the pain comes just before the menstruation?
Before and then during. And now it's before, during, after. I mean, it's horrible. It's horrible. But
so if your cycle is for 5 days?
Yes.
That whole period?
I'm down. Like
I'm
in pain. Yeah, I mean, I'm down.
If it's for 7 days, that whole time,
yes.
you're in pain.
But I've had 7 surgeries. So, yeah.
You've had what?
7. I could have had more. I mean, I've had it for 19 years. In the 7, I had it over a short space of time.
What are the surgeries doing? What are we doing?
The surgery is to excise. They take the growth, but it comes back.
Okay, so explain to me exactly what it is. You're talking growth.
Okay.
I need to know what this
These
is.
tissues that I'm saying have got back in the body and are trapped. For me, it's affected my tubes. So, for example, at the time that they found out, they diagnosed me stage 4, the tubes were already blocked because of the severity. And these tissues that have gone to the other parts of the body are behaving like they're in the uterus because they escaped from there. That's where they're supposed to have been. So if it's in your brain, it's bleeding in your brain. If it's in your lungs, it's bleeding. Whilst you're shedding, blood is filling up your lungs. I mean, it's horrible. We are not talking about it.
Okay, so
as much as we need to be talking about it.
I'm sorry, I need to understand this one at a time.
Yeah.
So when you speak of pain, instinctively my mind went to lower abdominal pain.
No. It could be not just. It depends on where the tissue has gone to. You can get a tear duct. You have a tear blood. You shed blood because the tissues have gone in your tear duct. These are rare, but they are there. That one person that is affecting somebody's family member. So if they say it's rare, it's rare. I've seen people since I've started this campaign. Navel, I had never seen. I've seen people. It's deformed because they bleed there. They're bleeding there. They go to the health institutions and they are told, "Yeah, brewo, go and try and deal with your pain." And this is not what we want. We want you to refer to somebody else. And I'm urging everybody that has this abdominal pain.
It's possible to have your menses and feel pain in your arm because the tissue.
Yes. For example, but I've not heard for the arm.
Okay.
But it goes to other vital organs like
what?
Kidneys,
the kidneys,
liver.
The liver.
It goes to your tissues, your nerves. The tissues attacks your nerve. And I had sciatica at a point. This leg was totally dead.
Because
I was dragging it along.
Somebody say before that every time I have my menses, I feel pain in my arm.
Yeah, for that, I'm not too sure if that
because
is...
she said I have my menses in my arm.
Yeah,
I've
heard, and I've seen people say it gets swollen up a bit.
Yes.
But I'm not sure if it's linked.
Endo.
No, I'm not sure about that. Okay. During my research, the other organs I see is the tear duct, the brain, the uterus, the fallopian tube, ovaries, your nerves, etc. The spine, the chest, yeah.
The spine?
Yeah, the spine.
That's a very common one with most ladies.
Spine.
For most ladies, when they have their menses, they have
pain
in their spine.
Yeah, we're not saying that everybody, but you need to get it checked. You are your own advocate. I'm saying if you go to 10 people and they're still telling you the same thing, please go to another 10 if you can. Because it's your body. You feel what you're feeling. They don't know what you're feeling. So please go to as many until you get results. Just do that, because I mean, so many times they keep brushing you off. It's normal, but it's not normal. Because then it's a taboo. Okay, there's something else.
Please go ahead.
People started contacting me, young ladies, and they say they go to the hospital. They are complaining like 3-4 months, and then somebody tells them go and have sex. The canal will open. You'll be free. These are things we don't want to hear.
These are medical practitioners.
Medical, yes, because they are fed up.
Ladies,
yes,
to go and have sex.
Because they are fed up. They've gone severally. They've been given painkillers. They're still complaining. So then they go, just go and have. Do you have a boyfriend? Go and have sex. You'll be fine. Because you opened the canal. Really?
Is there any scientific explanation for this?
I mean, there's nothing like. I mean, that should be scrapped off immediately.
Is this something that is it a possibility that sex can?
No, but it's not an option. Imagine your teenage daughter. You're telling your teenage daughter to go and have sex because that's the only way you get relief. No, it's not the best. See a specialist. That's the only way you can get results.
Treated.
See a specialist, a gynecologist.
Okay. So now, this organization, NJATC, I want us to stay here.
Okay.
So you're how old? Tell me about it. How old are you?
Okay, we are very young.
How many are you?
Okay, we are very young. I've been doing the campaign since 2014, but I left my job last year, as I said, registered last year, and I've been doing the TV, radio, social media campaign. I've been doing other, like the Fertility Society of Ghana Congress. I was a speaker. I've done women conferences at the CSIR. I do other programs aside the social media, TV and radio. But this year, my project is the schools. So that's what we're working towards. And we have people who are helping for free.
Volunteers?
Volunteers, yeah. We will get there, but we're quite young.
So for now, it's just
we'll get there. Yeah, we have people that work with me. Anytime there's a program, they come along and help. But we don't really have people that we say pay them to work for us. Yeah.
So what's the long-term goal?
Long-term, okay. Endo should be like malaria, known everywhere. And I think the government, again, I'm trying to reach out to gender, education and health, because this, I call it a medical crisis. If 1 in 10 women are suffering this, pick 10, everyone has it. I mean, it's just meandering in slowly. We have to do something about it. Structures should be put in place that people can go to and get the help. And the sad thing now is the doctors I'm working with are private hospitals, and not everybody can afford it. They're very good doctors. They're doing education amongst the other doctors to be able to diagnose the endo, and it's very good, but not everybody can afford to go to the private. So that's why we're saying the government should come in. We should put structures in place in the government hospitals, in the teaching hospitals, for example, so that anybody who has the symptoms can also go there, because not everybody can even afford to go to the private hospitals. But for me, the education is key.
Very important.
Education, even amongst the doctors and the medical personnel, is key. Because the nurses,
like this,
for example,
what you need is TLC.
Empathy has to come in.
Yeah.
Don't be saying, "Oh, I'm a woman, I go through it, so what are you talking about?" No.
Yeah.
Once I'm in pain, Help me. That's why I've come to you. So empathy has to come in. You need to help us. We're pleading. Just help us. Ladies, let's come together.
We need to come together on this word. We need to come
Yeah.
together on this. I want to take a break.
Thank you.
Briefly, and then we'll come back. So, viewers, stay with us. Let me quickly remind you, that's the WhatsApp line is 026-181-1280. You know, I am going to talk to the producer, so we open the phone line and take just about 2 calls, because people have been calling the line. So I'm guessing somebody has some questions to ask, so that we can take those 2 calls, and then we'll wrap up nicely. Stay with us. Be right back.
Today, we can't trust sources of water anymore. Confidence is gone due to human activities. Same human activities introduces well-mechanized machines which purifies water. I bring to you ultimate natural mineral water. Deep from underground, tasty, well-purified and corporately packaged. Ultimate natural mineral water. Let's drink the new. For bulk, call 020-379-1888 or 0244-515-801. Ultimate natural mineral water. My water, your water, our water.
Hey, Bukuya. The thing on the pressure to Mrs. Star, what tongue come from? You said the people and I saw Yaruko. They said when you are Joe, what to how soon?
My nose and cover to me, Kaba.
Ma.
We are read the minion with Drew and into the mamma tongue crab rose a brano.
And I may say, Finn Yago, Crystal Mammy, you must shimmy.
Go fitcha, why Yasina Yama Yam. And as a woman who bow one, no galley and a Makoti probing Kaya friend with Araba basin tablets. So when you send me the Yabanana. And Nuntin and Lamsa Makoto said, Diablos, I take none.
Araba basin bet my way in our mammy. And ye be soft.
Wonyem, wo your bataya woma wo banufuo. Ana kwada woni mfie dumienu a, wonka ho. Araba bazen.
And there I see
Hi, welcome back from the break. Okay, this one says, and there's a question here that I want us to quickly. Okay, she says, Risa Bafwa from Asinfosu. Catherine, I'm suffering the same pain as you are saying. Even before and after my menstrual cycle, I feel pain.
Yeah.
So literally, it's just the pain and the pain and the pain.
Yeah. But I don't know if she's seen somebody already.
No, she didn't. The message
It'll be
doesn't
better
say.
if she's watching. She should just see a gynecologist.
Okay.
She shouldn't. Pain is not okay, so she should see a gynecologist.
Okay. This
or
one says,
I'll leave my number later if she can contact me.
Great, that'll be great.
Yeah,
this one says, does endo have any link to PCOS?
Okay. So PCOS is different. Endo is different. PCOS is you produce a lot of eggs. And then these ovaries are filled with male hormones that release gradually in the body. And then you see that some of the women have hairs on their chest and then they get masculine. Masculine, yeah.
So they are two different things.
They're two different things.
They are two different things.
But that can also lead to infertility if not managed.
Properly managed.
Yeah.
This one says, please, my wife complains about waist pains, abdominal pains, shoulder pain, sometimes a week or two before her menses.
Hello.
Hi. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, hello.
Hi.
My name is Yao, calling from Duskman.
Hi, Yao. Please go ahead.
Yeah, I'd like to understand, does endo have any link with PCOS?
Okay. She's just explaining. If you take it again.
Okay, so is that Yao on the line? Okay.
That's Yao on the line.
Okay, so PCOS is different, endo is different. What happens with PCOS is we release a lot of eggs, the ovaries. There's a lot of ovaries, but they're filled with male hormones. And then gradually, these male hormones are being released in the body. So you notice that a woman that has PCOS would gradually start having hairs on facial hairs, chest, and then they'll start getting muscular. So yeah, that's.
I understand that the male organ, the male hormones are more.
More because
than the female.
Than the female. It takes
but they are
over.
Different.
They're different.
Yeah, are you still here? Okay, so we lost you.
Yeah, so they're two different.
Okay. Hello. Okay, so yeah, it's gone. Let me read it. This one says, please, the one I was reading before, waist pains, abdominal pains, shoulder pains.
Yes.
Sometimes a week or two before her menses. We are trying for children. Could it be due to?
Oh yes.
Endo.
Yes, it could be. It could be all these symptoms that he's talking about. I'm not saying it is, but I would advise that they see a gynecologist, or just they can give me a call. At some point, we will have a chat, and I believe there's help out there. So
there's help.
There's help.
There's definitely help. Yeah. Okay. So we're talking about the work environment.
Yeah.
You know, and I stopped you. Let's go back to the work environment. Let's go back to the work environment.
Okay.
First of all, let's talk you.
Okay. So for me, it's been. I remember years ago, my former boss would say, because they knew my dates. When it happens, I get paralyzed. I need help. They take me to the car and get me home and stuff. So they knew my dates. So my former boss would just say, I say, who want to know red car and they just joke about it, but you just have to make fun of it. I don't blame them. It's not their fault. That is all they know when they see Kate. Every month something happens and then the date has delayed. So then they just find a way to joke about it. And even in school, the guys also knew my dates and will write on their Kate is pregnant. It's like they just joke about, make fun of it, but you just have to. It's not funny, but you just have to try and find something amusing about it and just move on, because it's too serious. So you just have to loosen up a bit.
Diffuse it.
Yeah, diffuse it. So yeah,
diffuse it. And how does it affect your lifestyle? How does it affect the quality of your life?
A whole lot. It's controlled my life for so long that now I've turned it the other way. I am now controlling it because I've lived with it for 19 years. I guess I'm science and I know what to do, because it's debilitating. You make your plan, but it plans your life. Because let's say, for example, if there's an opportunity for you to be promoted, nobody would even consider, because they know Kate in a few months' time is going for surgery, and she goes and she's away. There was at a point I was supposed to be away for 6 weeks, and I ended up a year out of work, but my job was still there. I mean, I'm blessed with employers anytime, and I try sometimes. If I fall short somewhere, I try and go on a Saturday and then make up, or stay in later and then make up, because I don't need a pity. You see, I just want to be normal. So I try to make normal of the abnormal. I try. So yeah.
Because you know that you will take more days
off. Yeah, and every month it was like 3 days off until it got to a point. If I'm lucky and it's on a Saturday or Sunday, then yeah, 1 day be. But normally every month 3 days off. And I was lucky. But just that, if there's a promotion, forget. Because because you're going to go off work for some time. So hey, and I don't let it hold me, because before I'll say, oh, I can't do an outing. I do. And like today, I have my heels. I did not wear the heels from home.
You don't wear heels?
No, you see, the thing is, I like wearing heels. And people don't understand. I remember my customers would say, hey, it's not that I enjoy wearing the heels, because at some point in my life, this leg was totally gone. All the shoes were there and I couldn't wear any.
Because of endo?
And because of endo, it had severely damaged the tissues in my left leg. And I was dragging it along with me. It was completely gone. I had a device put there that would shock me continuously just to...
Hello?
Sorry, I think there's somebody on the line.
Hi.
Please, can I speak to you?
Yes. Mecca Chi.
Yes, you can speak to you.
But I show me pregnant. And I'm pregnant. It has happened twice. So.
Okay.
It's but it's like me a message after that. My time is area ma. Mrs. said she me go twin me menstrual class.
Kafra, Nanso Bacho, Major or number, na mini wedding come up, be a why? when I private kakranti enti me nka ni nyina wa ha pese me bisa questions ni bi ka ho enti mpacho me de me number no to wa na ye di nkomo why ebeye why okay
Please give your number.
Okay, so my number is 024 9750561. 024 9750561. Thank you.
Yeah. I like this. I like the fact that, you know, like you said, you are stepping ahead of the
I'm controlling
of the
it
situation
now.
and controlling it. I can't imagine what life has been for the past
it's been hell
number of years.
And it affected my self-esteem. So somebody would look at me now and think, oh my God, this lady is tough. No, I went through a process. And that is how now I'm an advocate. That process, as I call myself Endo Warrior Ajwa, I'm speaking for the voiceless. It's because I have gone through a process.
Okay. Hello?
So, yeah.
Hello? Hello?
Yes, hello. Good
Hi,
evening.
good evening. Please tell us your
My
name
name
and
is
where you're calling
Nancy,
from.
and I'm calling from Accra, Alphaman.
Great. Please go ahead.
Hello?
Hi, go ahead.
Okay, I'd like to ask the lady in yellow t-shirt a question.
Okay.
Because she spoke about laparoscopy.
Yes, please go ahead.
Hello?
Please go ahead.
Go ahead, please.
I also had the same thing. It happened to me. I had laparoscopy surgery at Trust Hospital, Osu. And the result that came out was that my fallopian tubes are blocked. Meaning I can't give birth unless I do an IVF.
Yeah.
And I want to ask, is that possible? Because
okay.
I don't know what. Hello.
I think she's Mercy. You are Mercy, right?
Yes. Okay, Mercy. So did they diagnose you of endometriosis, or they just told you what had happened to your tubes?
Hello, Mercy.
Hello, Mercy.
Mercy.
Hello,
yes,
Mercy.
Mercy.
Please, were you diagnosed with endometriosis, or they just checked how your tubes were functioning? They just told you it's blocked.
Yeah, they only told me something about my tubes, my fallopian tubes, that they are blocked.
Okay.
And for that matter, I can't give birth.
Okay. Mercy, I would like to have this conversation with you privately. So I'll put my number out again so we have a chat. Let's dig in further. This is quite private, so let's not do this here. So I'll speak to you. The number is 024 9750561.
Say it again.
The number again is 024 9750561. Okay.
This one says, please send me the number. Well, she's just given the number out again. So do call her. Like I'm saying, you know what I'm thinking we should do? I'm thinking we should dedicate one show, you know, to Endo.
That would be great. I'll bring doctor with me.
Yes. Let's do this. Let's do this. Because there's no information out there, essentially, you know, and we all come across menstrual pain.
Yeah.
And we think it's just that. Menstrual
and please,
pain.
It's not a taboo to talk about menses. Menses is how we get a baby, and it's beautiful. So let's stop.
Hello. Hi.
Yeah.
Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
Good evening.
Maximinia, Pacho Casa. Bibia Boko.
What is that? I can't get you. I never go to them when I was for you. I don't know that for yes, me and the accident.
Amen. Amen. Yeah, that's it, yeah, but I feel exactly how he feels.
Yes.
Because a lot of people will go through this and want to hide about it.
Yes, because
and not talk about
society has created that it's a taboo. Shush. even your parents, and that education should be your family, your employer, your teachers, everybody around you should know about this, so that when you're going through, they can help you. Because when your mom is telling you that, oh, it's normal, when you give birth, that means the child cannot even open up and say, this and this is happening to me, because when I said it the first time, I was told yes. But this is why we need to know about this, and then our kids can open up to us.
And this culture of the woman being long suffering, I think that we've suffered enough, haven't we? This culture of when you're a woman,
attaching pain to
pain
woman
is part of womanhood.
Not
and so when
normal.
you're in pain, don't cry out for help. Don't cry
that's
too much.
something that we need to erase. Eventually we'll get there. It's tough because it's across the world. Unfortunately, it's not just Africa. It's across the world. This stigma of women and pain is normal. No, it has to go. So there's a lot of work to be done. We have to keep hitting and hitting for people to understand that everybody and their pain threshold, but pain is pain. So if somebody is complaining, you need to attend to the person. It's just simple.
It is possible that it's beyond menstrual pain. It is actually endometriosis.
Yes. And there's so many reproductive health, female reproductive health. So we need to look into it and not let them go.
So essentially what you're doing now is going around.
Yes,
and
that's what I'm doing at the moment, yes.
And creating awareness.
Yes, and I'm having fun doing this because it's like therapy for me. Finally, I'm meeting people with the condition, and I'm fulfilled with it because we're doing this because you're able to help them. Because this 16-year and 17-year-old, they've gone back to school, but I have to keep speaking to them constantly. You're beautiful, you're that, because I would have shown you a text. He said, I like myself much better now. I mean, because totally it was gone. Self-esteem. That's what this does to you. 16 years. It's sad. So we need to talk more about it. She was paralyzed, out of school she's watching me. She was out of school for almost a year, and her mom had given up. But now
because they'll be wondering,
yes,
what is it?
And the stigma from school, people started shunning away from her because they thought, okay, there's a curse or something from the family, because they saw her okay, and then gradually she couldn't walk. Yes, so then everybody, I don't want to mingle with her because no, we have to help each other. Women, let's help each other. Women,
and let's constantly shake the table of women in pain. Let's constantly shake the table.
We're shaking
that table this evening. That's been great stuff. I love what you're doing.
Yeah.
And I love it when women use their personal use their personal experiences to educate the rest of us. Thank you. Thank you for not keeping this. Thank you.
It's just some brochures for
great.
Men and women, not just men, because the woman has a sister, a daughter. Everybody has to know, so just a few. But my website, you can know www.endocharity.com.
Endocharity.com. Yes, if you could give the number out again.
Okay, the number is 024 9750 024 9750
Okay. This one says, a lot of women are secretly suffering from this condition. Please do well to invite her again. I will invite her again. There's another message. I wanted to read this one really quickly. This one says, Awal, hi, thank you, Awal. Okay, so yes, the name of the organization is Endocharity. This is it. It's Endocharity. It's www.endocharity.com. Do well to, check out the website. Please do. Please use the number that she gave. If I want to help.
Any form of help. Just to push this. We need to push it.
Okay. And you're coming back.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And you are coming back for the show. Well, let me quickly say thank you to Maud, producer, for today's edition of the show. Great job, Maud. Let me say thank you to Edem and everybody, behind the scenes. I'd like to say thank you to my cameraman who's smiling at me, and Sewa as well. Thank you guys. You make the show what it is. Also, let me say thank you to Ama Lipsy for my makeup. Her number is 057 150 3343 057 150 3343 for my makeup. I'd like to say thank you again to Zainu Laundry Services. They keep my clothes looking nice and well ironed and all of that. Their number is 054 590665. That's 054 590665. Justice Apia is up next with hot news. He wants me to mention his name. so I just did. But then I'd like to say thank you to you again, Catherine. Thank you. Great stuff you are doing.
Thank you.
Great stuff. Great stuff. All right. So this has been our show. I'm back tomorrow with a book review edition of the show. Tomorrow we are treating, this book by Chinua Achebe. I'll tell you about the book. On our social media pages, do follow us. And we'll meet again tomorrow. Have a lovely evening. Bye.